What up, y'all? So I wanted to talk to you today about the when the narcissist loses the real one, when they, had the bar, the best empath or whatever, and they lose you. Usually what happens is they will be with their new supply and you'll have an awakening. Usually when you have an awakening, it's when during the last breakup that you had or whatever, or cycle, at the end of the last cycle. Usually the trauma will occur. They'll do that reactive type abuse and they'll do that energy flip again, that energy swap right when they're leaving, and then you'll have that big argument or whatever that they create. And then that's where they kind of break you down. That's where they tell you all these bad things and they're projecting all their crap onto you one last time. And so then, shortly after that, you usually end up that trauma sticks with you. You have to burn off all that fuel and it starts to, bother you to a point to where you start looking into, online. You start Googling, some of these symptoms that this partner of yours that you've dealt with probably in a couple, maybe in the past, because they remind you of somebody in the past, but they're like the next level of evil. So you start looking into it more and you land yourself on narcissism, and then you wake up. You go through this awakening process. You start to educate yourself. You start to learn all about what you've been dealing with. And this goes all the way back to your family, your familial, complex here. And that all the way back to your family unit, and things start to really dawn on you. And that's how it occurs, is you're getting this education, but at the same time, you're awakening to this last love partner situation that's been a cyclone of abuse. And then, you realize that, hey, I need to go further back because people are talking about online how, this didn't start with this person. It started from, your family. So then you go back to that. And then you realize this same stuff has been being played out as your whole life. And, then you'll start to get to the point to where individuals will start saying online that, or these therapists or whatever, or these psychotherapists, whatever, that if you have one in your life, you have many. So then you start looking into some of your friends and, your extended friends and family and stuff, and you find out there's more of them. And so then, typically what happens is you go into that isolation, a period of time where you'll isolate, and you'll also get annoyed about this because you were with this individual that was supposed to be a love partner or whatever for years, or for cycles. And then you realize that you were being played, and I think that, that's a little bit hard to accept, because it's like you feel like you had a difference of opinion. And so I think you go back and forth with that for a while because you accept it and then you disengage from that acceptance, and then you accept it again, and then you disengage from that. And then you kind of, feel like you're trying to figure out or rationalize each way, both ways for a time. And just like they leave you with these split situations to where there's the good person, the bad person, the nice person, the evil person, the one that cares, the one that hates, and it's like, so they're very black and white, and there's two sides there that you're always seeing. So even when you leave, or you didn't leave, but or maybe you did, and a lot of times you're forced to leave. It's so bad. But you end up seeing these two roads all the time, which is like splitting. And so even with this, it's like you're wow, it's like, you're realizing that, hey, you've been played, and then you're realizing, you're trying to rationalize how maybe, some of it was true. And, so that's very difficult. But the fact of the matter is when you do wake up, see, this is the thing, the narcissist always thinks that they can come right back, and they have done that for several cycles. And, typically when you're with a toxic, really toxic one, when you've been with these people for a long time, they start getting to where they're in the sociopathic type range of things, and they get to where they can't even do long-term relationships unless they just do cycles, unless you can just like let every boundary in the world go. And so they'll give you cycles off, but they always think they can come back, and everything is in their power and control. So they believe that, the only people that typically they leave would be people that they decide they're through with because they just devastated, or they've moved on to a higher level. I was going to say a level of care because we're like their caregivers, but to a higher level of source, supply, or fuel, or individuals, because they're always trying to build their harem up to a certain level, although it's usually with garbage people, except for when they meet the chosen ones, the empath that is the real, the one that they make the primary source. They have to leave though, because they have to let you rejuvenate as well. So they always, and they have self-sabotage built into this thing. So they, generally speaking, will, leave, but in their mind, they know they're coming back. They know they're coming back. It's not a question. It's just a time. It's a period of time. So they're going to just go out and they're going to run around with, catch up with their other sources of supply, and maybe a new source that's, put in motion. So they're going to get with new supply, and then you're going to get sparked to your awakening, and then you're probably going to lash out on them because you're like, you've been being played, right? So shit ain't funny, man, so you're like, you're dealing with it like that. And, generally speaking, you go supernova, and, you pretty much just, when, how every time they leave you, they just would destroy you with words and stuff. Well, you end up giving it right back to them at some point. And that's what the supernova is. It's like you just blast a hole through them with words, and your anger or whatever. And then you walk away, and it gives them a huge narcissist injury. Usually they stay away for a while. They get real quiet. Like you can hear a pin drop. Like you won't hear shit from them, because they also know that you're a huge threat if you were to out who they are. Again, they will build a smear campaign to some degree. It just depends on, how you deal with it, and how they deal with it as well, what they're thinking. Because if they want to garner that situationship back, then they may not build such a huge smear campaign. So they may start out light in the beginning to see what happens, to see how everybody's baited into it or whatever. But generally speaking, when they find out that you're done and they're stuck with this new source of supply, it's not just like something they're going to just have a fling with or whatever. Generally they think that they're just going to be with them for a while. They'll make you triangulate you, make you feel jealous, and then they're going to come back. You know what I mean? It's going to be like that. They're going to wash their hands and be with you for another cycle, right? And then you'll be ready to, wine them, dine them, and you'll have your fuel built up, because we, generally speaking, can generate fuel pretty quickly as far as building ourselves back up. And so that's generally how it would go. But now they're stuck with this new source supply. And, they probably rubbed it in your face. A lot of times before you wake, you have that spark for awakening. It might be like several weeks, or a month or so. So, first, you stay away and you just be like, you need a break from them. But then shortly after, you start researching. So it could take 4 to 6 weeks, could take longer. But generally, that's kind of when that time period will occur sometimes. And then they find out they're stuck with this individual because, you ain't taking them back now. So then they they start to really miss you, like miss you, whatever you want to call it, but they're going to miss your supply and your fuel and all the things that you did for them, the way that you would, validate them, the way that, you would supply for them, the way that you would take care of them. And, you know, just everything that involved you and your character. And so what you did is you kind of legitimized them. I mean, when you're a good source of supply, you're probably the only one that's ever legitimized the narcissist in a relationship, because nobody else could do it, because nobody else either seemed to care or had the fuel to do it, you know. And so when they had you made them feel legit, even though they were never legit, and they were the most illegitimate to you out of all of your relationships, probably. That it's funny because you're different sides of the spectrum. So as much as you made them feel completely legit and made them feel kind of normal in the sense of their friendships and stuff, like, wow, they actually seemed like they had somebody, that made them feel real. And that's the thing. And that's what they're going to miss more than anything is you made them for a time. For the time that they were with you, you made them feel real. And it's because you weren't acting. A lot of times the people that they're with, they're trash like they are. And they use each other, because they're running on this plane. And this plane is this narc vibration. So generally speaking, the people that they link up with they don't love either, and they are on this plane, this narc vibration plane, which it all vibrates like at the same vibration level, right? Low, so it's like shame to pride, that abusive type vibration level. So generally speaking, they would treat each other the same way or similar. And so that's why they would look at us sometimes as a fool, because we give empathy, and to them, empathy, they love it, but to them, they think it's foolish, because generally speaking, what they deal with is the narc vibration. So when they get you, they do pinch themselves because you are up here, okay? Let's just don't take it like that you're up here, like you're above and beyond that. Your vibration is up here. And so because your vibration is based on is a love vibration, you have love, joy, peace, long suffering, goodwill towards men. You're a builder, not a destroyer. See, all of that is running at this level. This is fear, hate, anger, anxiety, depression, all of this, shame, So your fuel is up here, and you generate very well as far as fuel goes. You're a generator. So then they have to pull you down, but it brings them up to here. Okay. And then what happens is they eventually get you down here and then stomp on you. But so you actually build them up. But you can't build somebody up for forever. And so that's generally what happens. But generally, what they're dealing with is somebody on this low level all the time. That's why you got to heal when you get away from a narcissist, or else you'll be that person that says that you can never get a good man or a woman, after you leave the narcissist. You just keep getting narcissists because you're running on that narc vibration and you haven't healed, so you need to heal and then raise up. And then there'll be the people on this level, this plane, this vibration are people that you can meet, that you can have a good relationship with, because these are people that you should be with, generally speaking. You don't want to be stuck with these. That's why if you leave a narcissist and you're on this level and you don't heal, another one will come right to you, and you'll just end up with another abusive relationship, because your vibration is that. And a lot of times when you're with somebody for a long time, you'll start to become like them, right? You're a mirror image of the people you keep, the company you keep. And so you start vibrating like they do. And so basically what they will do, though, is they will start to pressure the new supply, because, like I said, they will blame the new supply because they lost you, and they were basically, they were monkey branching to the new supply when they lost you. So they blame the new supply for the whole thing, because they can't blame themselves for any of it. So the new supply gets beat down real bad, and their love bomb phase pretty much ceases to exist. And then you kind of, it's like, it's like, you kind of want to feel bad for the new supply, because they're getting the real shit end of the stick, because they don't even get a good love bomb phase. And so what happens is then they start really putting it on them. Like, now they're gonna want you back much quicker, but they know they can't get you back because you're done. When they know you're done, it's like, that's hard for them. It's hard for them when you were the best and you were the real one. See, they don't get the real one a lot. And they never, there's only one best, So when they've had you and they can't get you back, you've done several cycles, but then you awoke. See, when you awake, you really can't go back. If you go back, it would just be for just a few days, and you'll stop that. You just can't do it once you awaken. And so they realize all of this, and they will start turning the new supply into you, and they will make that new supply work double time, because they feel like horrible, and they don't know what to do about it. So the new supply gets the brunt of this. A lot of times the new supply doesn't stick around very long, because it usually destroys the new supply pretty quickly. But the longer the new supply sticks around, the narcissist is going to start talking about you to them all the time, and they're going to get sick of it. And they're also going to, if they stick around with them, they're going to start wanting to be like you, because they want to get validation of the narcissist. And they're also, the narcissist is going to try to contact you about just stupid things, just oddball stuff to talk to you about, like some stuff that you shared a long time ago or a while back, or just to make small talk or to check on you. But if you got them blocked everywhere, they can't even do that. So they start to turn the new supply into you, so that they can kind of feel like you're still around. Because in a weird way, they miss your fuel. They don't really miss you, but your fuel so much represents you, because you're the real one, that it is you. And so it's an interesting thing, but that new source of supply is stuck with them, or they're stuck with, and they're going to be starting to wear your shoes and wear your clothes and do the things that you did, because that's what the narcissist is going to make them do, because you know how manipulative they are. And if anybody can do it, they can, because they got seduction. So If you can give me a like, subscription, and thumbs up, love y'all. Peace. We out.